My name is Kekwecha Ozema Victoria, aka Ozi One Life. I talk about social and personal issues that affect our everyday life, and on today's video, I'm going to be talking about breaking the bias about women. Breaking the bias about women. Now we are in the month of March, a month that has been set out by the United Nations to celebrate women all over the world. And today happens to be Tuesday, the 8th day in the month of March 2022. That is marking the day to celebrate women for their contributions towards life, towards development in their countries, in their families, and different spheres of life. And United Nations said the theme is equality today for sustainability tomorrow, and the sub-theme says break the bias. When I heard this theme for this year's celebration of women, I was like, wow, this theme, I took it so personal. It really hits me. Yes, when I heard the theme, break the bias, it really hits me, because growing up as a young girl, observing both my family, my environment, my society around me, I have discovered that women are really going through a lot. There's a lot of bias and prejudice against women. There's a lot of wrong mindset against women, about women, a wrong mindset about women. And I tag this wrong mindset the human inferiority mindset. Yes, it's a mindset that sees women to be inferior when compared to men. It's a mindset that sees the woman as the second-class citizen, the one that is lesser, the one that has nothing to offer, the one that she just has to depend on the man in order to get her own worth or to get her own value. And I'm saying no. God has created a man for a purpose. He has also created a woman for a purpose. I think if the creator of this world, which is God, actually wanted only the men to be in this world, I think after making man, he wouldn't have made woman. But he went far to make a woman, because he knows that a man needs a woman and a woman needs a man. God has created men and women to work together, then in marriage to be partners, to work together for a common good. Then seeing women as lesser beings is something that should not be. Women are really biased women are suffering from bias. Women are suffering from bias in different areas of life, from the educational aspect to politics to the economy to the family, in different cultures and traditions, especially in this part of the world called Africa and Nigeria. Women are really suffering a lot of prejudice. A lot of cultures, in a lot of tribes, they have a lot of cultural practices that militate against women. A lot of cultural practices that affect women. For example, we have a child marriage, where a child who doesn't even know anything, that is still in her childhood, is forced to go and marry a man that is old enough to be her father. We have things like female gender mutilation, FGM, where the reproductive organ of a girl will be tampered with, all in the name of trying to preserve her for marriage, or trying to keep her for her future husband, or they say they want to prepare her for womanhood. And I'm like, what painful womanhood are you preparing her for? Because FGM, it has a lot of negative sides. The negative side is far outweighs the positive side. A lot of cultural practices against women. They do these things in these cultures. They don't even care how the girls feel, how the women feel. And the women have accepted it as their fate. They have swallowed it into them. You come into the educational aspect, you see women, even highly educated women, still facing gender-based challenges. In some high institutions in Nigeria, many departments, the male lecturers, the male professors, they will frown at a woman becoming their head of department, becoming the head of their faculty. You come even into the student politics in the high institutions, you see this same bias that I'm talking about. A girl, if she's coming out for the post of maybe a departmental president, a class representative, you will see people coming to tell her to step down for a boy. And I'm like, I don't really get it. Why should she step down for a boy? She loves politics. She has interest in politics, and she believes that she has what it takes to lead her department, to make things right in her faculty, in her class. And you're not telling her to step down because she is not a male. That is to tell you the kind of bias. The bias has gone to the extent that even women now see themselves as second class. Women have accepted this as it's our fate, and let us just take it like that. That's how God has made it to be. But it's a lie. It's a mindset. It is something that is in the head, and we can change it. And the only way we can change this is to begin to see ourselves that we have something to offer in anywhere we find ourselves. Women have suffered a lot of prejudice that they are only seen as sex objects. Even the media, the entertainment world, they are not even helping us. They always portray women as sex objects. You watch a lot of videos, you see young girls that are dancing half naked. Anything they want to advertise is always about a naked lady. Even advertisements that don't concern women, we see women there patrolling half naked. That is why a lot of young men these days, whenever they see a woman, they don't even have any other thing, as in they don't even see her as a fellow human being. They just see her as a sex object. Like the only thing they can get from her is sex, nothing more about it, which is very, very wrong. But this mindset is found both in educated men and uneducated men. Some men, they don't even see a woman as somebody they can do business with. Some men will say, "Madam, go and call your husband for me. I don't have time for women. Go and call your husband for me. Let me talk business." I'm like, wow, you cannot talk business with her if her husband doesn't come out. And even the mindset in Africa and in Nigeria that makes it look as if a woman is not worth anything except she is married. Marriage is a very good thing. The Bible said that marriage is a good thing, and I believe that marriage is a good thing. And marriage is where a man and woman comes together as partners to help each other fulfill their purpose, raise children, and enjoy their lives. But the society now makes it look as if you are not married as a woman, whatever it is that you have achieved is worth nothing. Whatever you have achieved is worth nothing, which is very, very, very wrong. Whether you're a man or a woman, married or not, your life counts. Your life, you have achieved something in your life. Whatever you are doing that is good, continue doing it, whether you are married or not. When you want to get married, when your marriage time comes, you can get married. That you are not married doesn't determine whether you are a failure in life or whether you are a success in life. That mindset needs to change, especially when it concerns women. That bias, it really needs to change. Do we come into the religious body? I've heard someone says he cannot worship in a church where the woman is the pastor. He cannot go to a gathering of children of God in Christendom where the woman is the leader. And I'm like, she is not suitable to be a leader. Why would someone even say something like that? Or do we come into marriage, the mindset and the language of marriage, especially in this part of the world, is the language of, will I call it, the language of slavery. A woman is not, she's supposed to be seen and not to be heard. And some people will say, you are my wife, I have control over you. Your wife is an adult like you, and both of you are consenting adults who should be partners, not master and slave. Not master and slave. Even this verse of the Bible, Ephesians 5:22, where they said women submit to your husband, that part of the Bible, it has been misquoted, it has been misunderstood, it has been mispreached, as in a lot of harm has been caused because of the lack of understanding of what St. Paul, the writer of the book of Ephesians, was trying to say. Because the Bible was originally written in Greek language. So when you go and check the Greek word for submit, it is hypotasso. Go and do the research. It is hypotasso, and hypotasso means support, and it means defend. And St. Paul was actually telling the Greco-Roman women in Ephesus, the country Ephesus, that they should defend and support their unbelieving husbands against sin, against darkness, against sin, so their husbands can convert to Christians. And he was not saying that men should love their wives, because then the Greco-Roman men, they see their women as slaves. They see their wives as slaves that do not have any say. So he was not telling them that they should love what? They should love their wife. St. Paul never intended this misquoted and mispreached gospel that we have all over the place today. So it's time for women to say no to this bias. It is time for men too to say no to this bias. It's time for men to see women as their fellow human beings who have something to offer, who have something to contribute. Whether as your sister, your mother, your wife, she is a human being like you that has something to offer. A lot of men will treat their wives in very wrong ways, and when their sisters are being treated in that same manner, they go and fight their sister's husband. So this is why men too need to say no. Enough of the bias about women. Women, we need to say no. Enough of this wrong mindset about us. We are equal human beings like you. God has made us in his image and likeness like you. We have something to offer. You have a brain to think. We too, we have a brain to think. You can solve problems. We too, we can solve problems. And if everyone begins to have this mindset about breaking this bias, about stopping this prejudice, but the prejudice is in the head. If your mindset is in the head, everything is here. You don't see mindset, you don't see prejudice, you don't see bias. Everything is here, the way you think. So if you can say no, we don't want it, because this bias has gone to the extent that even women now see themselves as second-class citizens.